Tabernacle 101 is an Australian Christian horror film about an atheist killing and resurrecting himself to prove that there is no God and ends up bringing demons into our world. I don't know if that premise sounds cool to you, but it's easily one of the more incompetent films I've come across. However, before I dig deeper into this, I have to mention the sensitive topic of religion. I'm going to be covering all the problems this movie has that has nothing to do with the Christian aspects of it. I think any rational person, regardless of faith they follow or don't follow, can enjoy tearing into this movie for everything it does wrong. With that said, it's pretty hard to fully separate the Christian elements from the movie, and I will be touching on religious aspects at certain points. Now, before I get to all the criticism, I will talk about a few of the things I did genuinely like. I like the nature shots and drone work that gives this movie a higher production value that you see a few times throughout the film. I like this small detail of the car zooming backwards. I think that's pretty fun. And I like the way this scene looks. The fog and colors are pretty well done atmospherically. But unfortunately, that's pretty much everything I liked about this movie without any hint of irony whatsoever. Also, this is your spoiler warning. It's not a good movie, so you shouldn't care, but if you want to watch it before watching this video, you can actually watch it for free on YouTube. I've put the link down in the description below. Alright, with that out of the way, let's dive in. So to give the quick plot synopsis before we dive deeper in, Tabernacle 101 is about a fundamentalist atheist who kills and resurrects himself to prove there is no God, which ends up with him opening a portal into our world where demons can come through. He also gains divine powers from doing this, and the movie revolves around him learning to use his powers to defeat the demons and set things right. So the film starts out with a debate between the protagonist and what is assumed to be some sort of Christian debater. This is all done over stock footage of numbers on a blue background, and the credits look like they are out of a high school film project. The budget for this movie was only $50,000 according to the director, and though I think they overall got good mileage out of that budget, this is a pretty cheap beginning impression. Anyway, outside of setting up this film's premise, this Twitter debate dialogue is a pretty good representation of how on the nose the writing in this film is going to be.
3 million followers. 80% of the people on this earth have faith and have belief.
80% of the people on this earth have fear because of all the nonsense spouted to them at people like you.
You arrogant young man.
You are the arrogant, pompous old prick, mate, and trying to tell me how to do my
now
job.
you just insult me. You're not talking issues here. You're not talking belief.
And I am a man of science and reality and realism.
In which case, science requires proof. You can't prove this. Now, look, the only way you could irrefutably prove it would be for yourself to die and then resurrect again.
After that, we meet our protagonist Frank and his nephew Daniel, who are on a camping trip, and we are met with some more fantastic dialogue.
Can you prove that God doesn't exist?
No one's ever proven that God does exist, so I don't see the point. And you know what else?
What?
No one ever will prove that God exists, so don't worry about it.
What about ghosts?
Ghosts. Where did you hear about ghosts?
Well, I mean, I've seen lots of ghosts on YouTube.
YouTube? That's like the #1 hangout for fraudsters. Don't believe any of the stuff you see on there.
At this point, it's not completely clear what they're doing here, but it's later revealed that they are out here camping and recording to disprove that this area is haunted. They are then met with some spooky shit, and whatever entity is out in the Australian wilderness decides to give them some sweet matching temporary tats, which really upsets them. They leave and head back to the city just in time for what looks like the beginning of a porno.
Yeah, blow me, Clint.
Hey, three amigos. Think you could join me inside sometime this year?
So joking aside, this scene sets up most of the main characters and the plot. We meet Clint, Frank's cameraman for his vlog, skepticsbus.com, and his scientist girlfriend, Sarah. Can't you tell immediately she's a scientist? Look at all that science right there. And without any explanation, she kills this guinea pig, there's some terrible humor exchange, some unnecessary editing, and then Sarah reveals why she murdered this guinea pig. 10 minutes after it dies, she resurrects it, leaving Clint and Frank freaking out about how they could do this on a human and prove there is no afterlife. I'll be coming back to this bit about viewers later.
And bring them back to life. We'd finally have definitive scientific proof that there is no afterlife. No God, nothing.
Yeah, I reckon we could have 100,000 people watching live.
Mate, we could have 1 million watching live. This would be huge.
Then we meet Meredith Palin, the next character that our boy Frank runs into. This scene is so fucking funny. Frank is just going full balls to the wall asshole here, and it makes me wonder why anyone would do interviews with him if he's this hostile consistently. These aren't even debate points or questioning the genuineness of her claims to being a medium. This is straight up just attacking her, and I can't imagine anyone wanting to do interviews with him.
Loving angelic consciousness.
How do you spout such utter nonsense keeping a straight face. I don't know how you do it.
I don't think you're taking this seriously.
Okay, so I'm very impressed. How do you feel about lying to people?
She then pulls a little magic trick on him, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but apparently divine powers can be used for street magician tricks in this movie, and it's fucking hilarious.
Watch.
Hey!
Oh my god! Wow!
But we'll come back to that because there are some truly amazing scenes later on. Anyway, Meredith warns Frank that if he goes through with killing himself, he'll bring trouble, and she telepathically removes his temporary tat, which angers him, and he leaves the interview.
Shut the cameras off. Let's go.
Frank.
Let's go.
Frank.
Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we welcome the one and only, the dead man walking, Frank Bonetti!
Tonight, I, Frank Bonetti, will tell you exactly what happens when you die.
Anyway, he explains he's going to kill himself in 30 minutes, and this is where I'm going to talk about the ridiculous streaming part of this scene. First of all, what kind of shitty streaming service are they using? I know some people hate Streamlabs, but what the fuck is that program? You've got gray meatballs in the bottom right, nowhere showing the actual live feed, so I'm not sure how you're supposed to use that color correction wheel whatsoever, and this graph that is barely visible has no numbers or heading on it. I mean, at this point, it's just meant to be them filming the timer on the iPad, right? Just put a section that says live feed, and you could have filmed the iPad doing the countdown, and just put that on screen, and just have numbers ticking up to represent the viewers. And the viewers. Alright, let's talk about that right now, because that's even more egregious than the rest combined. When Frank first asks about how many viewers they have, Megan says 5 million viewers, which is absolutely insane, and there's no way they'd even come close to that. But just wait, because listen to the number when they are 5 minutes out from Frank going through with this.
Megan, how are those stats coming along?
Right now, we have 13 million people watching.
Oh, that's amazing.
Jesus, guys.
30 million? That's 12 times bigger than the biggest live stream record of all time on Twitch. Let's just pretend for a moment that whatever hosting service they are using that can handle an influx of 30 million viewers doesn't use their 30-minute head start to shut down the live stream before Frank kills himself and opens them up to litigation. Let's just pretend that wouldn't happen. Maybe I'm just too much of a skeptic, but if I heard that some Australian web series host was going to kill himself live on Halloween night, my immediate thought would be, well, that's obviously either a prank or just fake as shit. There's absolutely no evidence for the viewer that the Baja Blast being injected directly into his veins is actually lethal and not just some random liquid. This looks like the absolute fakest death possible. I'd retract everything I said about the 30 million viewers if they blast him in the face with a shotgun. Alright, I'm going to show you guys a magic trick. Alright, you see his head? Now it's there. Now it's not. Also, this has to be the most boring stream ever. First they do the announcement, and then it's 30 minutes of waiting around, then he kills himself in like 30 seconds, and then it's another hour of waiting around, and then it's the resurrection. I mean, you have the DJ there, and a handful of people. You guys couldn't do like a panel show, or play some royalty-free tunes for the viewers. I mean, you guys run a website, and you have a bunch of viewers coming in. You're not gonna do anything at all to try and maybe retain some of those viewers after this crazy event? Alright, with that rant out of the way, let's get back to the movie. So the resurrection isn't working, and they try using a defibrillator, an EpiPen, and the power of a sad nephew an hour after he's been dead, and somehow this works. Soon after, some cops come and take him away to this police station. I guess Australian police stations look like apartment complexes. And I don't even know why they did this wide shot. Close up, I think you could actually make this look like an interrogation room. You could have just started the scene here instead of the wide shot showing the IKEA table and the obvious room of a house they are using for the scene, and honestly would have worked fine. Frank sees a creepy guy in the back freak out, and we get an awkward edit, and then the scene transitions to what has to be the hallway of their church. I mean, look at those floors and the doors. Anyway, the next little while is Frank seeing weird things and complaining about how he doesn't feel good. Instead of me commenting on it, let me just show you the best parts of the next 10 minutes of this film because it is quite a treat.
was filming the whole time. I didn't see a single thing.
And you never saw anyone come in?
I didn't see a single thing. No, we're all there.
You locked the doors, right?
Of course.
Someone is playing us.
Frank, what's the matter? Frank!
Because of all this going on, Sarah and Clint are now just completely hostile to Frank and kick him out of the company. They become comically evil later on, and it's so damn funny, but we'll get to that.
What's up?
Hey, Clint, listen, I'm having some trouble getting into the website.
Sarah asked me to change the password.
Sarah asked you. Well, did she say why?
Sarah's the major shareholder in the company. She owns skepticsbus.com, and she wants you out.
What are you talking about? I'm the front man. There is no blog without me.
You're fired. Read the new post.
What new post?
Frank Benetti will be taking an extended leave of absence to rest and recuperate from his recent death experiment hoax. We wish him well. I, Sarah McKenna, will be your new presenter.
Also, in the same scene, Frank gets punched by the ghost of Hitler for some reason. Frank goes to see an inexplicably horny Meredith for help.
Something happened to me in our last meeting, something that I've never felt before.
Well, they do say that opposites attract, but don't get any ideas.
No, it started when you grabbed my arm, Meredith.
I have 3-date minimum rule, and I'm into Kama Sutra.
No, look, just stop, okay? Okay, now I'm very impressed, but can we get to the point, please?
You and Sarah had fun. Ooh, and date night. Very naughty, Frank.
Okay, that's enough of that, just stop.
Meredith goes on to explain that by traveling to the astral plane, he brought back demons with him into the world, but he also apparently gained divine powers. Meredith wants to show him what he can do by bringing him to the hospital. Frank goes on to heal this dude, and we are treated with sappy music and terrible ADR.
See, I told you.
Well, that felt really good.
You did a good thing today.
Thanks, Meredith. You're all right, too.
Frank Benetti, did you just say something nice about me?
Anyway, they go on a drug trip together to the astral plane where he gets told he's the chosen one to stop these demons, and he gets freaked out by Meredith, who says this amazing line.
They're scaring the hell out of me.
We need to transform you into an avatar.
Okay.
He decides to run away and goes to a bar. And I have to say, if you're going for the scene of character gets drunk to deal with crazy shit they just encountered, don't give them a half pint. Either give them a shot of liquor or give them the biggest glass of beer you can find. Also, this scene has genuinely one of the funniest moments in the movie. Frank is then captured by demons. They do some weird shit to him, and then they put him back where they found him. Like I said earlier, the scene actually looks decently cool. It's not scary, and it's pointless, but it shows that someone making this film at least cared enough to try and build some kind of atmosphere. Also, fair warning, you're about to see the spookiest windshield in cinema history. It's not totally clear what happens here, and he immediately goes back to Meredith after leaving her literally 5 minutes ago to learn how to protect himself and fight back against the demons. And then he immediately gets bored and stops paying attention for some reason.
So when you died, you accessed the power of healing. Today we're going to learn mind reading, psychokinesis, and protection. Frank Benetti, what did I just say?
Oh, healing?
If you don't learn these, you're a dead man.
Okay, all right, you're right.
Do you understand?
Yes, Miss Palin.
What is going on with this fucking guy? He heals a dude in the hospital with magic, he gets kidnapped by people in the night who stick a damn syringe into his forehead and throw him in a cage, and as soon as he seeks out help, he immediately gets bored? What the hell is your deal, Frank? They then go out and Frank heals a woman's ovarian cancer and he can read minds now. This entire segment of the movie is horribly paced and feels like they were trying to create conflict and resolution, but didn't really want to put any time or effort into either. Instead of being punched by the ghost of Hitler, he should have been abducted by the demons, and then instead of being just dropped off, maybe he's rescued by Meredith and then does all this training. Instead, we have this extremely clunky 20-minute segment that honestly feels like it's out of order. But don't worry. We're in the last 30 minutes of the movie finally, and shit is about to get hilarious. Firstly, Frank is now training his powers properly and gets a vision from the light being, and they explain his grand powers can defeat demons. I also just love how this movie has such awkward dialogue and acting from start to finish. Just look at this scene of him showing off his teleportation powers.
So, Mr. Benetti, do you know this book backwards, sideways, and can you recite it in your sleep?
Already here.
This scene just gets more awkward and cringy as Frank makes an announcement video about no longer being an atheist, which surprisingly isn't the cringy part. It's this part right after.
Frank Benetti, I am so proud.
Whoa.
It's a graduation present.
Oh, no way. I love it.
This opens up so many questions. Did she buy this and just teleport it onto him? Did she teleport it from a store? Did she create it? Is it okay to use divine powers for material gifts? Why did she give him a blue leather jacket? I have rewatched this movie several times. At no point is it set up that he wants this jacket. This is completely out of nowhere. Is this some sort of Australian graduation ritual where everyone gets blue leather jackets that I'm just too Canadian to understand? And now we are finally at one of my favorite parts of the movie. We have a short segment where Frank starts doing street magician tricks using his powers while Meredith films it, so that he can send it to the subscriber list of skepticsbus.com. He also goes back to doing it at the end of the film, which I will put here as well, because the idea that this man was granted the powers to heal and make change, but instead does this crap because he's a Christian influencer now, is just the funniest thing ever.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get your phones out. Now, on the count of 3, I want you to answer them on speaker. Okay? 1, 2, 3.
Hey folks, this is Frank Benetti. Have a nice day.
Sir, would you like to pick any sentence from your guidebook on any page, but don't read it aloud?
Okay.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, it's on page 266. And it reads like this. For Aboriginals, the concept of land ownership is tied to a belief system that instructs them to care for their ancestral land. Am I correct?
No way!
Thank you very much.
And things just get more and more entertaining as we go on, because next we get to see Clint and Sarah turn into completely mustache-twirling villains. They have become so evil, it's kind of amazing.
To what do I owe the intense pleasure of this call?
How could you, Frank?
Evidence. Any good scientist knows that.
Thanks, dude. Sarah and I are the fuck of the century.
Mate, you're welcome. Glad to see you're recycling my old trash. Oh, please, please. I cannot handle bad porn.
You know what, Frank? I liked you better when you were dead.
Basically, the only boring stuff in this part of the film is like the actual plot parts. So, firstly, Frank and Meredith find out that they have about 2 days before the demons somehow infect more and more people through the internet. Meredith mentions the dark web at one point. It's not really well explained, and it doesn't really matter because it's possessed angry nephew time.
Hey, little buddy. Happy birthday. How are ya?
So you believe in ghosts now, Uncle Frank?
This is my new friend Meredith.
Hello.
What?
Extracurricular project. Sounds like fun.
Don't start, Catherine.
I want Uncle Frank to take me camping, bitch!
Daniel?
Anyway, they leave the creepy nephew at his house, make a video warning people about the demons using the electronics. Then Frank is a complete dick to Meredith for literally no reason. Is there a scene missing between them shooting the video and him leaving? I didn't change this footage at all.
Get ready for a fight, and may light be with you.
I'll post it now. Where are you going?
To the liquor store. I want their best red while I still can.
Hold on, I'll come with you.
No offense, Meredith, but I can take care of myself in case you haven't noticed.
Frank, if you leave this tabernacle...
Also, Frank is Christian Iron Man now, and holy fuck. Some of the effects of this movie are just amazing. Anyway, I'm going to skip through some more stuff here, because as much as the last half has a bunch of great stuff, like I said, it does drag a bit here and there. Basically, the demons go through with their plan, and everybody except for a few people in the city are knocked out. Frank kills himself so that he astral projects into his nephew's bedroom shirtless, which comes off super creepy.
What took you so long?
You're proud of yourself.
Clint is now possessed and brands Frank while the other demon films him. Clint then does the most lame neck snap in film history. This woman has the neck of a bird. Then he burns Meredith alive, and we have this hilarious sequence of shots.
You...
Anyway, the light being enters Frank, and he gets powerful enough to kill the demons and save the world, and everything goes back to how it was. And the movie just ends on Meredith's spirit telling Frank that they have more work to do.
Well, Mr. Benetti.
Well, I hate to burst the bubble.
I've got work to do.
Work?
We've got a huge problem this time.
Wait, what are you talking about?
He's causing havoc everywhere.
Who?
Clint.
And that's Tabernacle 101. As much as I was trashing this film, I am really glad it exists. I really don't think you can have a bad time with a few friends watching this, and I have fond memories of when my friends and I discovered this a few years ago. I was originally going to cover the problems with the hilarious strawman atheist Frank starts out as, and how evil his two atheist friends become, but I really didn't want to start up some stupid debate about religion when the movie is bad for many reasons that have nothing to do with the Christian elements. I love that it ends on the sequel bait superhero ending as if Clint is this horrifying agent of chaos, and I would absolutely love if they made a Tabernacle 101 cinematic universe. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any bad movies you'd like to see me do next, let me know. I'd love to do more of these, so let me know if you liked it. Also, I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/wasabiburger, and I love it when people swing by, so follow me over there. Also, every second Sunday, I'm streaming a Dungeon Crawl Classics campaign that I am shamelessly doing to get through my RPG collection that I've built up over the years, called the Pile of Shame campaign. If you miss it live, I post it to this channel the following day, so feel free to check those out. Have yourselves a great December, and be safe out there.